Okay, welcome back to episode 7 of All the Mods 8. Uh, this episode I had some troubles with recording, and my mic was muted. So I'm doing a voiceover for what I did record. And at this point, I don't remember all of what I said when I was recording, what I was talking about or anything. And so I'm kind of just gonna wing it. And if I have no clue, then I have no clue. So anyway, I believe at this point I was talking about how much resources were in the mining dimension. And there is a lot of resources. It goes into netherrack and endstone. And you can also find all the modium in like the deep slate layer. Here I was showing you how much obsidian, or not obsidian. Yeah. Realized I could add some quests that I could claim. Get some more Allthemodium from that. Because last episode we made the Allthemodium sword and pickaxe, which have infinite durability and are pretty good. Here I'm just kind of checking out the quests, seeing what the best way to make ingots, to turn the raw ore into ingots is. And the easiest seems to be just turning it into dust with an ore hammer. And I'm still really happy with how many ores are here. It's a lot. I left it there. I was AFK a little bit off camera. And what I decided to do for this episode was upgrade my storage system. Because as much as we have a pretty good amount of storage set up here, it's not a lot. Very much could be better. And that's what I'm aiming to do. Getting better storage is better for the long run. Because earlier you can get good storage, earlier you can change, earlier you could do anything, I guess. I don't know. I am just doing one take with this voiceover thing. I wanted to get at least one video ready as soon as possible because this one's been sitting here just here for a while now, and I haven't done anything about it. But still, some more quest claiming. More ore hammer. And I have decided at this moment that I'm going to make some Allthemodium armor. Currently, there's nothing better than Allthemodium armor, but it is at least nothing that you can make with Allthemodium. It is currently really good. It's better than most of my armor, probably not my helmet, but it's better than most of my armor. Just making sure that I had some more Allthemodium that I could make the full set. There we go. There's the full set. And I'm not going to have a crazy speed boost with all the extra attributes that the other armor gave. And this guy wasn't selling anything useful. Flax seeds possibly useful because you could turn them into string. but that's about it. Now that I'm doing this voiceover, I'm curious about a few things, like, how many leads do I have at this point? I've killed quite a few of those wandering traders. I don't know. I've got to make a armor stand real quick so that I can put my old armor somewhere where I can remember it, I guess. I don't know what my full thought process in this moment was. I was trying to think of a good place to put it. Finally decided right where that crafting table's supposed to be. Yeah, perfect place. Found out I could do that, which was pretty cool. Just shift left click, and it trades out whatever armor is on there for the armor you got. Spin the globe. Yeah. Okay. So I do a little bit more quest collection. Make sure I get as much Ultimatium as I can. Decide that I should get an axe and a shovel as well. And I just happen to have exactly as much as I need. At least that's what I had thought at that moment. But I ended up having more than I needed. Because I forgot how the rolling thing worked. Rolling thing? What's it called? Rolling mill, yeah. It turns one ingot into 2 rods. Not one ingot into 1 rod. In Olimod 7, it turned 1 ingot into 1 rod, which is definitely not easy. Makes you need more Ultimatium for everything. But there we go. More Ultimatium. Almost forgot to turn it into more than just 2 pieces. Gotta organize my inventory a little bit. Make sure everything's where I want it. And misspell tool belt a few times. Yeah, my brain wasn't doing right at that moment. There we go. Tool belt. I wanted one of those. Because these, with some pouches as well, which I was lucky to spell correctly this time, you can end up storing a lot of your tools. Open it up like that, and you can put what tools you want, and you can put it in your slot space. I don't know what those are called. But yeah, I noticed that it was part of a quest, and I got more pouches. Wanted to go put some more on there, got distracted. Surprised with the incredible amount of ore that's here. That is still a lot of ore. decided that's something that's gonna happen. That's something that was gonna happen this episode, was me upgrading my storage. Because each of those item cells can only store a maximum of, I think it's 63 different types of items. And so 63 different types of items isn't a lot. And so I wanted to make that number much more. Being able to store more types of items is better than a better quantity of items, just because the more cells you have, the more types of items, but if you run out of types, it's difficult to fit things in your storage inside the storage cell. It works in a weird way that I can't really explain, but the more types of items you have in your cell, the less quantity of items you can have in your cell. That's the best way I could explain it. So having more cells is just better. And this was me noticing that making drawers is great for your bulk storage. It will allow you to, well, I think if you have netherite upgrades on your drawer, you can have up to, I think, 2 billion items. That is a lot of items. And that 2 billion items, it's 2 billion of one item. That's why it's bulk storage. But it's one of the best bulk storage that you can get. Makes storing like all that cobblestone and deep slate that you'll end up getting really easy. But here I am making the things so that I can make a advanced inscriber, which is better than a normal inscriber. In not just in more than just speed. It doesn't increase its speed much. It just, so I don't think it actually increases in speed at all. But it makes it so that you can stack the input and output up to 64 items. In just the normal inscriber, it's only input and output is stored, it can only store one in the input and output. Making the advanced inscriber just makes it so that I can speed up the process of making more circuits much quicker. Realized I need those circuit presses again, or logic presses. Yeah, I wanted to make more storage system. with Applied Energistics, you can have a maximum of, I think it's a 7 by 7 by 7 multi-block of ME controllers. Normally, I don't have that many. I'll probably need more eventually, but at this point, I just wanted to start out with 5. Here's me making some Fluix. I was out of Fluix. It's just redstone, charged Stardust quartz, and quartz. And it's some skystone blocks, which is just smelted skystone. Skystone is it's gotten from those meteorites where I had gotten all of the items to do the storage system in the first place. This is me just counting out one of everything that the items that I need to make this. I did skip ahead right here so that you guys didn't have to wait for a while for these engineering processors to finish, or the skystone blocks. But there it is. The ME controllers. Made 4 because I already have a 5th one. And I noticed that I was slowly running out of Fluix. And that I would need it for a lot of things. I was trying to find a really easy way to get it. Couldn't quite figure out what the easiest way to get it was. For a while. This was me just seeing all the different types of storage cells and just thinking about them. I noticed that that storage cell, that 65 million storage cell, it's very expensive, but it can hold 300 different types of items instead of just the normal 63. I'm still gonna go with the normal 63 all the way to the point of using mega cells instead of AE additions, just because it looks better to me. uh, that's really it. I was checking to see if what other mods were there, but I think it's AE things, or yeah, AE2 things as these disk drives. They only go to 256 bytes, but they have a little bit of a weakness, and that is, well, no, they have one really good part, and that's that they have infinite storage types. So it doesn't matter how many different types of items you have on there. It will store 256,000 bytes of items. But unlike the normal storage cells, where 1 byte is like 16 or so items, it ends up being where 1 byte is 1 item, which makes it so you can store much, much less. But making these mega storage cells, like even just like the 1 million, the 1 million storage cells from, well, mega cells would be incredible. Because that's 4 million items. Yeah, it's only 63 different types of items, but you can have multiple different disk storage, disk drives, or what they're called, or I don't remember what they're called. The ME drive, yeah, that thing. It could store 10 storage cells. Each storage cell being able to store 63 different types of items. That means one ME drive can store a total of 630 different types of items. Currently, uh, that's what my plan was. To make just a bunch of those ME drives. But the small problem is that each ME drive takes up one channel. A channel is like, it's a line that connects 2 points of data on an ME network. I guess that's the best way to explain it. You have a maximum amount of channels per controller, and so that's why adding more controllers is better. The more controllers you have, the more channels you can run. The maximum amount of channels that you can have in through a normal cable is only 8. And the thing with the 64 different types of items, or 63, yeah, 63 different types of items, is that there are upgrades that you can get for the cells. Like that fuzzy card and such. Yeah. But these are all the facades that exist. Facades are just so that you don't have to see the cables. Since the cables, they take up a weird space. I'll be able to show you probably either next episode or later, but for the meantime, that's it really. The ME storage bus allows you to have an external storage, and here's me making one right now. And the external storage, so the external storage is necessary for if I wanted to add the drawers into my storage system. And this is the area that I had mapped out. I had marked out the exact center of the room. Be right there. And I was just going to put the ME controller under the ground a little bit so that as much as it doesn't look bad, nobody really has to see it. And for purpose of this video, I needed to just grab a torch real quick. Or better than a torch, actually. Grabbing a feral lantern, which will make it so that I don't need any torches. At least not a lot of torches. I just had to select my correct ultimine thing so that I could mine in a square pattern like this. It would only mine blocks that are similar to what I'm mining. And so that means certain stone types, but not all stone types. And I'm just trying to make this as semi-even room. Not, I don't think I actually ended up counting. But this is the room that my ME controller is going to be in. There it is. There we go. There's 4 out of the 5. I still need other things from my storage system, but I'm not moving it all over yet. But this is what I've got. I'll dump all those in here. And now I think I'm gonna make some fluix seeds, because I'm gonna need a lot of fluix. So making some fluix seeds would be very helpful. And I need just 4 Imperium essence, which I have way more essence than necessary, but that will be fine. I need to make a Certus quartz seeds as well, so that I don't run out of Certus quartz. Certus quartz is very, very useful as well. The fluix is going to be necessary for those P2P tunnels, because the P2P tunnels are very powerful, and since a normal cable can only transfer 8 channels at maximum, the P2P tunnel, what it does is it condenses any channel that it receives, any amount, into one channel. This only is a maximum of 32 channels. And that's where those really big cables, where some really big cables come in. Because there are some big cables that exist. I don't remember. They're dense cables, I think is what they're called. And first, you need some covered cables, which means you need some wool. I do not have any wool. I don't really have any string either. It's not a lot. And so, using the I wanted to make infinite wool using hostile neural networks, which is a very cool mod that allows you to automate the process of any mob drops. At least that is configured in that mod. You can configure more if you're making a mod or whatever, or mod pack. But anyway, I spent a lot of time going and getting and killing enough sheep to get it to be usable. I didn't really record enough to explain everything. I don't remember how I got most of the items that are in my inventory. But what happened has happened, I guess. To be able to automate this, or start making wool out of nothing, basically, I needed some precision matrix, which I put in there. And now I'm just grabbing some cobblestone. Why? Turn it into sand, because I'm running out of sand. I don't want to grab more sand. I turn it into sand. That allows me to, well, first it gets turned into gravel. which I need the energy upgrades. There we go. First it gets turned into gravel. Then eventually it will get turned into sand. But there we go. It doesn't always make wool. And this is just me checking out what can be made with certain resources. There's the wool I need. There's all that sand. And I can take those upgraded modules out. Put them back in. Now, I can make more of the, more glass panes, so that I can make more of the, precision matrix. More precision matrix, the better, because that just means that I can make more wool for longer. Because the more times that runs, the more advanced it gets, and it can get pretty advanced to the point of, I think currently I'm at like a 6% success rate, and it can go to being much higher. Anyway, this was me making those cables. This was me thinking about what I would want to put in all my cells if I ended up doing that, which I probably will. I just didn't do it in this episode. There's a bunch more wool. Put some more precision matrix in there. And now more cables. There's the dense cables. One dense cable can transfer a maximum of, I think it's 32 channels, which is really nice, but that's not enough. I wish it was more, but that's kind of the fun part of the mod, is you gotta think smart about what you do with your channels, because you only have a limited amount. This is me just realizing that I needed, this is just me making the, Certus Quartz seeds, because that was necessary. But yeah, me pointing out that I never made the digital miner. I probably won't anymore, just because I have the builder instead. And the builder, to configure the digital miner, I don't know how to configure it easier than the way I previously did it. But the way I previously did it, you just grabbed Silk Touch and used that. But anyway, there we go. I got 20 P2P tunnels, which will allow me to kind of do what I want with all of my storage. This llama doesn't seem to want to leave. Yes. These cables normally would connect, but I do have these cable anchors, which make it so that a cable will not connect to that surface. The cable anchors are made really easily. You just grab a quartz or Certus quartz knife and literally any ingot. This is just me thinking about the future with all of this, basically. I'm not great at designing these. I kind of took this off of a video I saw a long time ago, and I built it also a really long time ago. I think it was a mod pack that was part of, I don't remember what the mod pack was called, but it was a 1.10 mod pack that I played like 2 or 3 years ago. So not a long time ago, but I haven't been playing modern Minecraft for a long time. Yeah. This voiceover thing, I don't think it's working very well. But, cool achievement, yeah. Now, I just have to mark out where I want the, what's it called? The terminal to go. Which I have decided that right there should be good. There we go. Tearing down the current system. Bringing it downstairs. Love the ease of just being able to store thousands of items in just a few cells. And there's my power. Wait for it to get all glowy, and doesn't. After fixing it real quick. And then also making it so that this is future-proofed. Because future-proofing things is nice. As always. What I'm going to do is you have to configure the P2P tunnels. So what you do is you use a memory card. You connect it. And then you link it to the other P2P tunnel. And it links those two. You can link multiple inputs. Or no. You can link multiple outputs to one input. But I don't think you can do the other way around. If you could, that would be kind of cool. But I don't. It doesn't really have something that makes sense. Anyway, I decided that over here will be where I store all of my items. And all of the items that I store, well, will be a lot. I'm just mining a whole bunch of stuff to get it out of the way, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember what I was doing. Making bigger of a room that I needed to, I guess. Anyway. This is just about the end of it. And I have my ME drive with all my cells. Me just thinking. That wasn't something wrong with their video. I stopped to think, cause I don't know. I was probably talking about something out loud. Out loud? Yeah, you talk out loud. Jeez. I'm on a roll for words right now. Let's see. Wanted to make room for more drives that will be there in the future. I cleared the memory card. I go to a different unused cable and configure its P2P tunnel and add its output. Add room for expansion and configure them as output as well. We'll be having a lot of these, the ME drives. I decided to have them like this for the only reason that it looks cool. Anyway, there's all my stuff. Stored away. Right where it's easy to get. And it's future-proofed. Of course, I will be adding to it for basically forever. As long as this series goes, I will be adding to this storage system. Being able to automatically craft things is definitely going to be one of those things that will be later on the line of things that I want to add to this, but I think that'll do it for this episode. I will see you guys next time.